I grew up, just as a function of my dad's work, we were moving around every 3 years. Every 3 years we'd pack up shop, find a new place called home. I do remember a lot because the one thing my dad did was he decided to purchase one of those giant VHS camcorders back in the day, and he would lug it around for all our excursions. So my childhood memories are very vivid, but what I really appreciated, I was able to see and witness a culture, not just from the perspective of a tourist, but it was actually getting to know the people. So I went to the University of Windsor. I took a co-op opportunity at Hydro One, and from that perspective, I was able to get, a great vantage point to just see, when you turn on that light switch, like all the things that need to happen to make the power come on. And I found a really great sense of purpose in that mission. Hydro One decided to call me back as a new grad. I went out to Alberta, helped with wind integration studies, and there was this great position at the NYISO. I was there for about 12 years in various different capacities. I joined and I worked for Ontario Power Generation, helping manage their real-time and day-ahead markets. I said, I've got planning experience, I've got operations experience, what's next? And there was this fantastic opportunity that opened up at the NYISO. And that really appealed to me. So this is a newly created function, and it's very unique in that it reports both to the planning and the operations verticals of the business, with the intention that these are not the only two groups that I will be working with. It's across the organization. So combining all of those facets is really a key piece ensuring that we are successful in this transition, because as important as electricity is to our lives today, it's going to only become more important as we move into the future. I was told there was a lot of great skiing over here, and I was really hoping that I would be able to get back on my snowboard and do at least a couple of runs, but this was the winter that wasn't. But I think that really does go to show the impacts of climate change, which is the volatility in the weather, the changes in weather patterns. There's a lot more that we don't know about as we're transitioning. The utility sector, at least when I came out of school, was not one of the growth areas. It was those things that exist in the background. You needed it, for your lights and for cold beer and hot showers, and that was it. Now it's a conversation which many people have around the kitchen table. So I'm optimistic that as we get, greater engagement, greater importance, the best of people will come forward to help us solve these problems that lie ahead of us. Technologies that were niche, novel, and sort of on the fringe are becoming the mainstay when we look at solar, wind, battery technologies, and there's been certainly some challenges of integrating them. And we're always on this learning journey, So I think the key piece in this is data as our friend and getting more sources of it. Like, what are the coincident impacts of all of these technologies converging at the same point in time? How related are the wind patterns in upstate New York versus what we're expecting offshore? New York is not on an island in itself. We're part of this big eastern interconnection. So with our neighbors, to our north, to the south, what impacts them impacts us. One of the big challenges is managing variability. You have the wind and solar resources produce power as a function of whether the sun is shining and the wind is blowing. But how do you manage that intermittency? One of the things we're doing is improving our forecasting capability. And then working with our friends on the operations side to say, what are the data points and the perspectives that we need to provide to you so that you can make decisions, so you can do this analysis to say, how big does your supply stack look like? On the engineering side of the house, we're augmenting our engineering capabilities, building out new platforms, training our engineers with the new tools and technologies that are coming forth, and then also understanding the critical interdependencies. We've had a number of winter storms that have occurred over the last couple of years. We look at what happened in Texas and Winter Storm Elliott closer to home. What are the impacts during these times on the gas system? Because the gas system is a critical component to how we power our generation today. I'm very fortunate. I have a team that's highly motivated. So they see this as not just, a job. They see this as an opportunity to really, help ensure that we're successful for future generations. And I think it's with that passion that they come forward. My role as a leader is how do I, again, bring all of them into a format so that we can pass that knowledge on to the rest of the organization.